There are three main points in this homily on the generosity of God. First, serving God is a gift. Second, we have the free will to accept or reject the gift. And third, there are some practical ways to be an effective apostle. Okay, so serving God is a gift. We have the free will to accept or reject this gift. And then we'll look at some practical ways to be an effective apostle. First, so serving God is a gift. Whenever we apply for a job, we create a resume or an application. We then send that resume to the company human resources recruiter hoping for an interview. It is typically the job applicant that approaches the company for work. However, in today's gospel, the opposite is true. It isn't the applicant that is the main focus, but rather it is the employer that is the focus. That's part of the meaning of the last will be first and the first will be last. Jesus once again switches our way of looking at things. Instead of us approaching Jesus to work for Jesus' kingdom, it is rather Jesus himself, with his abundant generosity, the divine employer who initiates the first move. Like the bumper sticker says, my boss is a Jewish carpenter. Jesus' call for you and for me is a gift. And in a sense, Jesus doesn't even kind of care what's on the resume. He calls us, and his call for us is unmerited. It is undeserved. We don't deserve to serve him in a sense, but he still calls us out of his abundant generosity. In today's parable, the landowner is Jesus, and he describes himself as generous. He says, quote, "Am I not free to do as I wish with my own money?" End quote. That money isn't material resources. Think of that money in the Gospels as the treasures of divine grace. Isn't Jesus free to do with his grace to each one of us as he pleases? This is why the laborers shouldn't complain to Jesus, the divine landowner, about their pay, because serving God itself is a gift. And this leads to the second main point. Just as God is free to call whomever he wants and recruit and distribute the treasury of graces, so too we are free to accept or reject that call to work in God's vineyard. But what I want to say is this: there are far too many souls that are rejecting God today. We need only look at the news or open the newspapers or see what's on TV. And in a sense, I'm not even referring to what's out in the world, but those Catholics and Christians within the church that are rejecting God. What are we doing to help save our souls? What are we doing to help others and the salvation of their souls, especially our loved ones and our families and our immediate families? Here's a snapshot of the rejection that's going on and why you and I are needed as laborers in the vineyard. Out of 100 Catholics in the United States, 100, only 22 go to Mass regularly. Only 22. Of those that go to Sunday Mass, only about 1/3 believe that Jesus is really present in the Eucharist. Majority of Mass-going Catholics reject some moral teachings of the church. I don't want to even go into those statistics. It's a type of silent apostasy. And in Europe, it's worse, where 10 out of 100 Catholics go to Mass. In Latin America, where the Catholic Church is very strong, the Catholic population over there has declined. It's a type of silent apostasy. So you and I, that's a sample of why right now the church needs you. Jesus needs you. It's kind of like that poster with Uncle Sam where he says, "We want you." Jesus needs you. Mary needs us to bring souls to her son. Jesus says, "I thirst," in the gospel. But most Catholics are idle. And